There's a couple of reasons why a country would spend all the money in the world to split the ocean, like establishing borders, claiming territory, or most importantly, protecting their people. Building a mega-project infrastructure in the ocean this big and complex costs a whole lot of resources. We're talking up to trillions in some currencies. Even though it requires insane amounts of money, such mega-projects are extremely necessary and very crucial for the integrity of the nation. The MOSE became Italy's biggest ocean mega-project, as well as the most expensive one. The city of Venice in Italy is synonymous with floodings, where every time it enters the transition from autumn to spring, the city of Venice has always experienced floods. This is because Venice was built in the middle of a lagoon. That's why it has a natural phenomenon called acqua alta. In November 2019, almost 80% of the city experienced a flood that reached a height of 6.2 feet. But it was back in the 80s when the local government brainstormed this mega project called MOSE, which started being developed in 2003. It's a defense system gate-controlled integration hooked up with caissons to prevent Venice from flooding. This motion system consists of 78 water gates, each measuring 66 feet long. This colossal project alone costs $8 billion US, or the equivalent to more than 2 trillion Argentine pesos. The motion system is placed along the coast in 3 different locations, namely Malamocco, Chioggia, and Lido. Regarding its work process, when MOSE is inactive, it will lie in the seawater, and when the door is activated, the 300-ton water gate will rise to the top and will block the tide. The seawaters entering the city will stall at the water gate due to the presence of air compressed piped in the system. So seawater on the gate will exit automatically and make the gate go up. These water gates can get in the way of tidal currents as high as 10 feet. Then when finished being used, the gate will automatically drop underwater again. The process of rising this gate takes 30 minutes. As for the dismounting process, it will take around 15 minutes. The manufacturing process of the housings or caissons, where the water gate is located, takes place at a different location, then is brought over and sunk to the bottom of the sea. It has a very large size. The weight of each of these caissons reaches up to 25,000 tons when filled with ocean water. Then they are connected with the mainland by pumping water out and pouring in fresh concrete. During the first trials in 2020, the MOSE mega project passed the test after successfully protecting the city of Venice from a tidal wave 4.5 feet high. And since then, its performance continues to be developed. The annual project maintenance alone costs 100 million euros. With 78 gates along the 3 locations, the MOSE project has a total span of almost 1 mile long. The Pharaoh's Pass is a project that simulates the historical moment of the sea splitting in the era of the pharaohs, which allegedly occurred thousands of years ago. The Pharaoh's Pass will be one of the world's wonders, as the sea will be split by a transparent glass wall, according to the Nation Advisor Bureau in the United Arab Emirates. It will be considered the largest aquarium in the world. Designers said the project could become a marine park, with retail shops, cafes, and seafood restaurants, all surrounded by floating villas. Visitors would be transported within the Pharaoh's Pass in horse chariots, keeping with the traditions of ancient Egypt. There, they will be able to see marine life from behind giant glass walls, while the floor of the project will consist of natural sea sand, seashells, and marine coral. One of the most iconic projects in the Dutch Ocean is the Afsluitdijk, both a dam and a highway that runs along 20 miles, built to protect the lowland areas of the Netherlands from floods. The Afsluitdijk highway dam separates the Zeewadden and Lake Itsel in the North Netherlands. Its construction started in 1929, and to this day, renovations still take place to account for the increase of the sea level. The construction of this dam turned out to be crucial for the Netherlands, saving many lives in the Great Flood that hit in 1953. Construction of this endless dam started at 4 key locations along the stretch, which was then filled with material directly to the seabed until it reached sea level. Basalt rock was used for strengthening the dam, which is then covered with sand and clay to a specified height, and at the top, sturdy grass was planted to hold the materials underneath. The height of the material reaches 723 feet above sea level, and it's about 296 feet wide, so it can serve as a highway to connect the mainland. It employs 10,000 workers and more than 170 barges with different jobs. Although construction of the highway dam was completed in 1932 due to the sea level rising every year, in 2019, reinforcement and renovation was approved. The structure will be refurbished at a cost of about 9 billion, so it can stronger still withstand the storm or tidal waves in the near future. It will be strengthened by adding layers of reinforced concrete along the stretch, so that later it can withstand erosion. Restoring the dam requires a 75,000 concrete blocks addition. It will incorporate a new aqueduct equipped with the latest technology, a stream functioning as a migration site for fish, in order not to disturb the population habitat around the dam. In this renovation project itself, there will be as many as 500 architects and civil engineers, collaborating to create design and pre-construction. The renovation project is planned to be completed in 2023, and when completed, it can last up to the year 2050. The new Tuas megaport in Singapore will double up in capacity their current port, which can already handle an astonishing 36 million TEUs or 20-foot containers, and the new one is designed to handle 65 million TEUs. When operational in 2040, Singapore's megaport will become the largest fully automatic port in the world, surpassing China's Shanghai port, which currently holds the title with a 40 million TEU capacity. Among the innovations that will be displayed in this megaport are driverless vehicles completely electric to transport containers between the pier and the terminal. They are currently being tested at the terminal, registering emissions of 25% less carbon than conventional vehicles. This megaport project was started in 2020, and the construction consists of 4 stages. The first stage of the project alone requires funds of about $1.7 billion. The megaport will use a land of 1,300 acres, which will consist of 5 terminals and 16 miles of berths. For stage 2, more than 5 miles of caissons have been put in place. Another 6 miles will be installed in stage 3. Each caisson weighs 15,000 tons and takes 21 days to make. After the caisson is done, it is transported by a steel track over a floating dock, and then it's pulled by 2 tugboats to the sea location. At that location, it is sunk to the seabed and hooked to a pre-installed platform. The process of installing them is non-stop 24 hours a day by applying a shift system for workers. After put in place, they are filled with soil from the sea using the biggest dredger in the world.